So we'll solve some important questions and concepts on theory of computation. You know, TOC is a very important subject for all these technical exams. You all know about sets, right? Suppose I have a set A, B. We know that null set is a subset of every set, right? Like that, if I have a string A, B, C, there is something called epsilon, okay? EPSILON. This epsilon is a substring of null string ABC, okay? So every string will have epsilon as a substring, right? So what are the substrings of ABC? Substrings of ABC are, the string is ABC, substring are A is a substring, B is a substring, C is a substring, then AB is a substring, BC is a substring, epsilon is a substring, ABC is a substring. Epsilon is a substring of every string, and also every string is a substring of itself. So ABC is a substring of ABC. And some students wrongly write AC as a substring. Okay, AC is not a substring. For a string to be substring or for substring to be a string, characters should appear together. So AC is not a substring. But if it was a set ABC, then AC would have been subset, but not for string. Okay. So one important result is, if how many substrings are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there are 3 characters in the string ABC, and you got how many substrings? 7 substrings. Okay. I'm going to teach you a formula. If a string is of length n, there will be n into n plus 1 by 2 plus 1 substrings. If a string is of length n, there will be n into n plus 1 by 2 plus 1 substrings. This is for that string or epsilon, whatever we are counting to. Now, for the string ABC, what is n here? The number of characters in the string. This is 3. So n is 3. So n plus 1 is naturally 4 by 2 plus 1. So you get how many substrings here? It will be 7 substrings. Okay. Suppose I have a string like make. Okay. How many characters are there in this string? 4. Okay. So how many substrings are possible? N into n plus 1 by 2 plus 1. So n is 4, n plus 5 is, n plus 1 is 5 by 2 plus 1. So you get how many substrings? 11. 11 substrings are obtained. Okay. 11 substrings are obtained. So n into n plus 1 by 2 plus 1. 11 substrings are obtained. Understood? So I hope you are clear with this concept. So very important point is epsilon. Epsilon is also called null string. Okay. How do you pronounce it? EPSILON. Okay. EPSILON. It is also called null string. Okay. What is it actually? It is a string of length 0. Okay. For example, if I have a string A, it is of length 1. If I have a string PQRS, it is a string of length 4. But epsilon length is 0. Okay. So what does it mean? It means I can move, say, from point A to point B without consuming any input by consuming epsilon. Okay. We'll understand this concept clearly when we go to study the states of automate and transition. At this point of time, please simply understand epsilon is nothing but empty string or null string with which I can move from one point to another point. Okay. Remember, the length of the string is 0, but the cardinality is 1. What is cardinality? Number of elements in a set. Okay. Number of elements in a set is called cardinality. For epsilon, there's an element present, which is null string. Okay. So the cardinality of epsilon is, if you take this as cardinality, then this one. If you take this as length, it is 0. Okay. So length of epsilon is 0, but cardinality of epsilon is 1. That is, one element is present, that is epsilon. But it is of length 0. So what's the difference between this null set and epsilon? Null set means no element is present. For null set, no element is present. Epsilon, one element is present, that is epsilon itself. So since no element is present, cardinality is 0. Since one element is present in epsilon, cardinality is 1. Since no element is present, there's no string or length here, so it is 0. But here it is string of length 0. So number of elements in epsilon is 1. Number of elements in null set is 0. Understood? Number of elements in null set is 0. Number of elements in epsilon is 1. Epsilon is a string of length 0. It means you can move from one point to another point without consuming any input. Without consuming any input. Hope it is clear to you. Okay. Now we are going to study something called non-terminal, terminals and all. For that, you have to study Chomsky hierarchy. I will teach you an easy method where you need not by heart anything. You simply will understand or can reproduce at any point of time all the types, corresponding grammar, corresponding language and all. Right? We'll see that in the next video.